amazing day. I'm so excited to joining in with the women who joined us on today. I'm excited and looking forward to seeing what the ministry has in store for the future of the Zion Church.
Hello, my name is Larry Robinson, and the two ministry that I joined is the men's ministry and the young adult ministry.
I signed up for a youth ministry because I love what they're doing with our youth, and I signed up for a young adult ministry because I want to be more involved with like the people my age who's in the church.
I'm Gloria. I signed up for the college ministry because I love supporting them. My daughter is in college finishing up, and they have helped her, so I like to return the favor and help others.
Signed up for the young adults ministry.
We just finished up our ministry fair. We're thanking God that a few people did join our ministry. We know a lot of people want prayer, but they're afraid to pray online, but we're not afraid. We thank you for those who joined us, and we still invite you to join us.
Good evening, saints and friends. It is a blessed day, another blessed Tuesday that our good Lord has made, and we are thankful, we're rejoicing, and certainly we are glad in it. I want to welcome you to another deeper dive. Let us know that you are in the room while you're doing that. We say hello to the EP. Pastor Brandon, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you? Good evening, everybody.
I am doing well. Excited about this dive. As you could tell, we are excited about what's going on at the Zion Church via the Faith Place with our ministry fair, which is kind of connected to our sermon. So we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. Good to see you. Tawana Rogers, the old Pat Taylor, rest of you all that are logging on. Come on, let us know that you are in the room. We don't know that you're there if you don't let us know that you are there. So don't just come in the house, ring the bell first, and let us know that you are in. Peaches, good to see you. Sister Jones, good to see you tonight as well. I pray that all is well for each and every one of you and your families. Again, man, we're excited about all the things that's happening in and around Zion. Pamela Dawkins, good to see you as well. We've been in this series entitled Beyond Sunday. And it is a goal, again, to let everyone know that our walk, our relationship with God has to extend beyond Sunday if we're going to be effective for not only for ourselves, but for the body of Christ into the kingdom of God. And we try to be intentional about our messages kind of leading up to this. And Sunday was a big day for us. We did something we've never done before. We did this ministry fair, right? Getting people opportunity to sign up and go to work. That God has called us not to just sit, but God has indeed called us to serve. We said in talking to our leaders, Pastor Brandon, on yesterday, that we discovered that the ministry of the church lasts longer than the minister.
That's right.
Ministers change, right? But for the church, the ministries of the church, they last forever because they become a staple and the hallmark of our any church, not just our church. As I was preparing for this message, I wanted to allow the message to kind of serve as an introductory to our ministry fair. And as I was preparing for the message, this term, and we've been saying that we've been trying to be, kind of flexible and having fun with even the sermon titles. We understand and recognize that when people hear a topic, it gets them intrigued. You can be you can be relevant and still contextual at the same time. And I thought about this term that, of course, this year, maybe the latter part of last year and this year, this term swept across America, entitled "boots on the ground."
Yeah.
Right, but that terminology within itself is really a military term. It is a term you hear and see in law enforcement that says, hey, when there's an assignment that needs to be done, we got to get some boots on the ground. I thought about the passage of scripture, I didn't get to touch on it on Sunday, in the book of Matthew, that says that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few.
Yeah.
I was close to preaching that, and I didn't preach from that text. God led me to this book of John, chapter number 9, and the point of the message was birthed out of verse number 4, because I like this verse because we see Jesus working.
Yeah.
Yeah, the verse that says the harvest is plentiful, but the labors are few, it's putting the work on others, which is fine. But I like this text because these words fall from the lips of Jesus. If you have your Bible, a hand-printed Bible, or even some digital Bibles, these words would be in red letters. It is Jesus saying, I must work the works of him who has sent me while it is day, because when nighttime comes, no man shall be able to work.
Yeah.
Pastor Brendan, talk a little bit about the importance of being in the kingdom, not just to be saved, but to start serving, the benefits of serving, the need for service from a personal perspective.
Yeah. I think we get our example for most, if not all, things from Jesus, right? And if his only goal was to save us, then he could have came and just died for us. Right? He could have skipped the years of maturing and of working and adulthood, and he could have skipped all that. Right? If it was only to come and to be the sacrificial lamb to die for our sins. But in between that time, he was showing us the way of how to serve, how to work, how to treat each other. There was principles that we learned from his life, not just his death.
Wow.
And he was the best servant, right? And he even said, I didn't come to be served, I came to serve. That's Jesus saying that.
Right.
So if we are getting our example from him, then it's not only, primarily it's about his death. It's not only about his death, though. It's about the example that he set as far as how we should serve and how we should work, and being about our Father's business, right? As he stated.
Right.
And so I think it's important to grab a hold of that, to see like, hey, this is not supposed to be some passive journey where we just sit and enjoy the fruits of our salvation. But even Jesus went to work. Even Jesus was boots on the ground, right? He showed us the way. He showed us how to serve and the principle of serving. So I think it's important to see that, because, people might think this is some foreign concept.
Right.
No, Jesus was a servant.
Right.
Right. So if Jesus could serve, then who are we to come into the kingdom and just sit on our hands, right? And kick our feet up. And I think, man, one of the things that we have to also recognize as well about serving is that there's benefits that come from serving God and serving in the kingdom that no one in the world could give you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Serving God and serving in the kingdom one thing I know for a fact from personal experience and other people that I've seen work in ministry is that when you serve God, God will take care of you.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's he can pay you better than anyone can. He can provide for you better than anyone can. And it's not always monetary,
No.
right? Sometimes God takes care of you by healing you or by preventing you from getting sick or from making sure that stuff don't break down in the house and in the car. And I think we have to have that mind, because a lot of times people kind of, there are people out there, let's be frank, right? There are people out there that will only want to serve if there's a paycheck assigned,
Right.
coming along with it. And there's a fine line there between someone being taken advantage of and someone just not being willing to serve.
Right.
And we have to understand that whether you're getting paid to serve God or not, it should never be about that. It
Right.
should never be about that, because God, there's other needs you have that the church can't provide you with.
Absolutely.
Right. So, for me personally, that's always been like the two things that kind of stick out to me about serving is, one, following the example of Jesus as far as being a servant, and two, understanding that there's a blessing attached to my service. There's a blessing attached to me serving God. And there's just things that only God can do that I know are attached to my willingness to serve.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a cliche to not want to compensate people when you talk about they're just things that money can't buy. That's just a reality. You never hear someone say, man, I got blessed because I did overtime at my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You never and that's a place where they get paid for, right? From you never hear people, all of the blessings that you and I benefit from get associated to our work and our walk with Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have to understand is, I say this and I believe this wholeheartedly, when you are a servant of God and you become a vessel or a tool that God can use in his spiritual tool shed, then we take care of the things that we need to work.
Yeah.
When we work for God, we put ourselves in a position to where God takes care of us,
Mm-hmm.
so that we might be able to serve.
Yeah.
We see that prayer. I think we're going to unpack this tomorrow in lunchtime, Lord. We see that prayer with Hezekiah. When Hezekiah gets sick, he reminds God of something. He said, hey,
Right.
now, remember how I worked with you, how I walked with you,
Yeah.
how I served you.
Yeah.
You're going to need your boy. I got value in the
Right.
kingdom.
Right.
So God then listens to Hezekiah's track record, and the Bible says he tells Isaiah, go back to Hezekiah and let him know I heard his prayer.
Yeah.
I heard his prayer. But it was because I believe he lists his resume. It's just like you're in a relationship, and then you be talking about you want to leave, and you start thinking about, okay, boy, if I let this one go, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find, and you start backtracking those thoughts. That's what happens when we work for God. There's some things that you and I get benefits from
because
of our service, God.
To that point, what value is there in God keeping you alive if losing you won't create a void? Right?
Yeah.
Like if losing your presence from the kingdom, from the church, doesn't create a void, then you have no value. That's with anything.
Right.
At a job, if losing you is like you're expendable, they'll get rid of you for nothing.
Right.
your service and what you're contributing to anything makes you more valuable. And that's not to say that, God's children, one is more valuable than the other, but the works you do speak for you and your value.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If your presence doesn't make an impact, your absence it won't matter. Your absence will not be missed.
Yeah.
And it is our job to be impactful in the kingdom. Not to say, well, they can't do this without me, but it's something that you and I bring to the table because we're uniquely gifted and blessed. There are things that we bring to the table that makes us valuable to the kingdom.
Yeah.
To the point where we should never be expendable, because you could be easily replaced, or as you said, removed because you have no value. And Jesus opens up this verse by saying, I must. Right?
Must.
He says, I must work. It's his mandate. And what blessed me, and I talked about this a little bit, and people kind of, got riled up about it, is the key to verse number 4 is understanding the context of the statement. And in the context of the statement, we see that we get encountered with a blind man, a person who's been blind from birth. And the question was raised from the disciples, why was this man born blind? And the first thing they went to was it because of his sins or his parents' sins?
Yeah.
And it's crazy how the church people go there. Like, this man was born blind, and all they could ask was it because of a sin? And Jesus said in the New Living Translation, it was not because of his sins nor his parents.
Yeah.
This happened so that the power of God could be seen in him. I can shout right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't because of sin.
Wow.
He's going through this, God says, Jesus says, so that my power can be demonstrated through him.
Yeah.
How many things that we have we gone through, not because we messed up, not because we fall short. Simply, we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks, right? Simply because God says, I'm going to make you a witness.
Right.
I'm going to demonstrate my power through you.
Yeah. Your struggle is a form of service to the kingdom.
Yeah.
Like there's purpose in it.
Yeah. There's purpose behind this pain.
Yeah. And it's crazy because that suggests that God will allow certain things to happen just to deliver you from what happened.
Yeah.
Like, just so he could get glory out of it.
Yeah. There's intentionality connected to a lot of our struggles. Again, go back to last week, so that we might be a witness. So that we might be a witness for him. And that's when he says, no, I must work. I said the first thing, that if you and I are going to have boots on the ground, we got to accept the fact that we got to work, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got to accept that, working, whether it's for the church or whether it's to pay your bills, if we could avoid it, we would.
Yeah, right. If there was a way to not work and still get the benefits from it,
the legal benefits, the blessed legal benefits, we would do it. But you know what? At some point, you had to accept the fact that if I want a roof over my head, I want clothes on my back, I want to eat a decent meal, I might as well accept the fact I got to go to work.
Yeah. And there always, see, there's always going to be work to be done, or else there wouldn't be a need for workers, right?
Yeah.
Because think about it like this. If there was no, how effective would Jesus have been if there was no sick people?
Ooh.
Right? If nobody was blind, nobody was lame, nobody was paralyzed, nobody had a withered hand, what, like, where were we going to get the signs from
Wow.
of who he was? Right? Because these things were signs. He did all of this so that people would see and believe who he was and what he was. How effective would he have been in fulfilling his ultimate mission if there was no work to be done? If there was no sick? If there was no one that needed deliverance?
Wow.
So on one hand, we can complain about the problems and the things that are needed, but if there's no work to be done, there's no need for the worker.
Right.
So we have to, we have to accept the work. That also means we have to accept whatever responsibility comes along with that. And the fact that there's going to be things for me to have to do. I was having a conversation with someone who works for me a couple weeks ago, and they were like, not complaining, but just kind of venting about, man, like, it's busy, like we got all this stuff going on. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, it is called work. Yeah, that's what it's called. Do we have an expectation that we're going to clock in and get, paid money and not have anything to do?
Right.
It's called work. So
when there starts being nothing to do,
then
guess
there's
what?
no need for the worker.
You don't need to be paying all these people to do nothing.
It's called work because there's going to be work to do.
Yeah.
And we have to accept that, and we have to accept whatever our work is, and we have to see it as a mandate. That's why I like the word that you pointed out there. He said, "I must." Right. I must do this work.
Yeah.
Right?
I gotta do it. I don't have no. It wasn't something that he says it to demonstrate that I'm not doing this grudgingly.
Yeah.
He demonstrates this attitude towards it, right? I gotta do this. A lot of times, even in the church, man, we try to ignore things. And I believe if God continues to reveal something to you, it's probably an indication it's because you're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we can walk by it. We can, whether it's in our home, man, we could walk by something, it's a mess on the ground. You're there, you see something on the ground, and you have to ultimately say to yourself, well, it's me, Maverick, and Mila. If this is going to get done, I got to do it.
Right.
If this little mess on the floor is going to get picked up or mopped up or whatever, I got to do it.
I got to do it. Yeah. Not as leader.
We got to accept but you'll never do it until you accept the fact that if I don't do this, it won't get done. Yeah. And we've got to have that mentality. I remember in the movie Ray, of course, Ray Charles is blind, and there's a scene in that movie where they're playing, and he's playing at this place. I think it was oh God, I can't think of the name. He's playing a new venue, and he's trying out a new song. And the people come to hear him sing the songs they know. And the scene depicts the fact that he's singing this song that's got a little mellow tone to it, and the stage manager dims the lights and changes the atmosphere, and the mood change, and the people start getting with the song. Of course, Ray is blind. All he knows is people that were yelling and screaming, stop. So he asked the man, well, what happened? He said, well, I dimmed the lights. And Ray Charles asked him the question, why did you do that? And his response was, because it needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
See, we got to have that type of mentality when it comes to the kingdom.
Yeah.
I got to do this because it need to be done. I don't have to have been asked to do this.
Yeah.
I don't have to have even been. I don't even need to get paid to do this. I'm not doing this because I'm getting paid to do it. I'm doing it because it needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the acceptance that God wants from his children. Accept the fact that you're going to go to that church and serve in some capacity.
Yeah. You know what it is, man? We have to take on a mindset of ownership, not membership.
I
Right?
opened the sermon, right, by saying
Ownership,
what?
not membership.
We got too many members.
Yeah. Because
We got too many members.
when you're a member of something, you're looking to what perks come with that. Right? What do I get with this membership? When you're the owner of something, you're looking to how can I make this better?
My God.
Right? That's like even a business perspective. Right? If you're just a member of whatever business, then you come there to enjoy the amenities and to get the perks that come along with the membership that you pay for.
Wow.
But the owner of that business wakes up every day not going to his or her own business to get the perks. They're going to their business to make it better, to do the work. Serve those who are there to enjoy it. So it's a mindset different. So we have to take ownership of God's kingdom in the sense of, hey, what I'm here. How can I make this better? Not how can I come and enjoy the amenities.
Right.
How can I make this better?
Right.
It's ownership versus membership, and it's a mindset thing.
Right. Yeah. God spoke to me very clearly and said, before we begin to grow the faith place the way it should be grown, I need to tell you, you got too many members.
Yeah.
Got too many members. We need more owners. Take ownership of the word. This is my assignment. I don't have to be bed, pump, prime, or reminded. This is what if you don't want me to do it, you better tell me don't do it today. Because just as sure as I wake up, I'm going to do this. That's ownership. Once you get that level of acceptance, then things can run smoothly in the kingdom.
Yeah.
But you know this as being the EP. But if a person don't accept the assignment, you got to keep reminding them.
Right.
You got to send them 4 or 5. You told them they got to do something Sunday. You told them Monday. You got to check with them. Okay, remember now Sunday, you got Friday, you got Saturday night. You still going to go?
Right. Right.
Because they haven't accepted the fact that they got to do it. They got to do it.
Yeah.
They doing their ground. Okay, but man, a person that's willing to accept it, they'll be calling you. We still good for Sunday, right? I'm ready.
Right.
That's the type of spirit.
It just happened Sunday. I gave someone an assignment late last week, and there was necessarily no rush on it. I typically, if I give an assignment, I kind of tell people, hey, this is when I need it by, just to create some urgency and like, hey, this is not open. It's not open. Like I need it done. So it's by this point. But I didn't necessarily do that in this particular instance because I wanted to see. Right? I wanted to see. And some people accuse me of playing mind games. It's really not that. It's just sometimes I leave things open to see what you do at baseline and how you operate at baseline without my influence or my instructions. And the person, I never even mentioned it. The person came and updated me and said, hey, I didn't forget about the assignment you gave me. I'm working on it. I'm going to have it to you this week. I never even mentioned it. I'm like, all right.
That's a sign of acceptance.
That's a sign of acceptance. And if you have to repeatedly be reminded of something, you either don't want to do it or shouldn't be doing it.
Ooh. Say that one more time. Woo-hoo.
reality. Like if you have to if you have to repeatedly be reminded, you either don't want to do it or shouldn't be doing it.
Oh my! Don't say that in the kingdom, because you know that's we supposed to do this forever. You know,
No,
we
no, no. It just it can't work that way, because
mm,
if I'm if you want me to trust you to with the assignment, then a part of that trust factor is I don't have to keep coming behind you to remind you to do it, because
yeah.
that energy I'm using to remind you, I could use that to do it.
My
Right?
God, today,
I could just do it at that point.
my God, today.
So it's you gotta
And then when you do it, they get mad. I was
yeah,
gonna do it.
I was gonna do it.
Man,
Well, when?
when?
So the acceptance of the work is not just saying, yes, I'll do that. It's the follow through that comes along with your yes, because sometimes people get coerced into a yes,
Oh yes,
or they
that's
get
good.
guilted into a yes or an accept
Yes,
ministry, or, well, y'all asking me to do something, so I'll just sign up to do it.
right.
But no. If you know you can't or won't, don't.
Don't. Please,
Because after
please
you
don't
say
accept the assignment. If
because
you
it's right. It's not a serving God is not a one-time yes. Right. And this is even for
mm,
me as a preacher, right? It's not a one-time yes. It is a yes every single day.
yeah, sure. It's a
It's a yes every
lifetime,
day.
yes.
It's a lifetime. You know how many times I've wanted to just get up and say no to God
Uh,
this week? Like, nah, I don't want to do it this week. I
Right,
don't want to preach. I don't
right,
feel like it.
right.
I ain't there.
Who?
No, like, no. The answer is it is a continual yes.
Yes.
So when you're serving in the kingdom, it's not just the one time yes, it's every single day, every opportunity to serve in what you've said yes to. It's continual. It's an everyday yes. It's yes to the responsibility. It's yes to not needing to be micromanaged. It's yes to making sure I'm going to do the assignment with excellence, because that's what God deserves. It is a ongoing yes. Don't sign up for the ministry if you're not willing to say yes to it every day.
And notice what the man of God said. Of course, we know breaks, and we talked about that in our leadership meeting. We understand breaks, and even sabbatical, whatever term you want to
Absolutely.
use for it.
Mhm.
But don't clog up a position when you know you've no longer accepted the fact that you want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be honest with yourself. If you've checked out, just say, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm checked out. I can't do it. I'm older. I'm whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because, and we got to move. We just on our first thought. Because we talked about it before. The work still needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The word of God, you mentioned preaching. The word of God still needs to be brought forth.
Yeah.
So I can't go to the pulpit with a yes physically, but a no spiritually.
Right.
Did y'all get that?
Right.
Yes physically mean I'm just there. But because I said no spiritually, I didn't come prepared.
Yeah.
I'm just going through the motion. I'm just here. What Marshawn Lynch said, I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm just here to collect this check. But
Yeah.
knowing inside I've checked out. That's in a relationship.
Yeah. There
Once
was a
you checked
song. There
out,
was a song about that. Your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side.
when in a relationship, y'all could be together, but if you done checked out, if you looking at everybody, you might well go ahead and separate.
Yeah.
Because you done checked out. You done checked out. And so many people clog up positions
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to say no, or they don't want to see anybody else do it, and they sure enough don't want somebody else come in and dare do it better than them.
Right.
So they just keep going, knowing they're not even going.
Yeah.
So he says, I must do this. But then he says something else that really blesses me. Not only does he must work, he say, I must work the work of him who sent me.
Who sent me? Yeah.
So I looked at this as the alignment of the work. Because my work has to align with his will.
Right.
There's some alignment there.
Right.
I don't get to accept this work and then want to dictate how I work it.
Yeah.
See, in your job and most people's job, the job gives you ways to do it.
Right.
You don't get to just do and handle people how you want to handle them.
Mm-hmm.
You got to handle them within the alignment of the rules.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna be on TV.
Right. Right. Right.
It got to align with the will.
Yeah.
I got to work the work of him whom sent me. And I thank God that I pastor a church that allows me to operate within the will of God. Because I know some of the stuff I be saying be crazy, Black Panther. Here you go again. But I can't align myself with even my own will. Even Jesus said when he gets ready to go to Calvary, he says, not my will.
Yeah.
Let your will be done. Because again, that was a part of the work he didn't want to do.
Right.
Man, I don't want to do this.
Right. Is there another way?
Is it another way? I'll take door number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get like that sometimes. He accepted the fact that he needed to die, and when it got tough and rough, he almost fell out of alignment. But he said, nevertheless, not my will, let your will be done. It is important that we make sure we are in alignment with God.
And you know, one way to test that from a general perspective is if you are operating in the will of God in your life or in the work that you do for the kingdom, at some point you're going to have to do something you don't want to do. Right?
Don't want to do, don't know how to do, don't feel comfortable doing it.
That's when you know. That's the test. If you are willing to stay in alignment, when you know it's God saying it, and you know it's God telling you to do it, but you personally don't want to do it. That's the real test of if you're able to stay in alignment. Because as long as he's telling you to do stuff or has you doing something that you want to do, then it don't really matter. It's just like, that's easy. But when you're about the one who sent you and not your own agenda, there will come a point where you have to do something that the one who sent you is telling you to do that you don't want to do. And how you handle that is telling to as it relates to if you're in alignment or not, or if you're keeping within that. Right.
Don't want to do it. Feel you can't do it.
Can't do it. Yeah.
Don't know how to do it. Like most of those things fall in the category of God telling you to do stuff. But what happens is you said that's a litmus test to know if it's God. But here's the flip side of that coin. When you're not in alignment, we talked about this on Sunday. Here's that test. Here's how you know you're not in alignment. You start drifting.
Yeah.
You start drifting. You start drifting. Slowly but surely. When that car gets out of alignment, it just starts drifting away, left or right.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what happens when we get out of alignment. Things could, and we got to be careful with this, especially in this day and age, Because just because you get an applause or a like or a share or it goes viral, don't mean it's in alignment with God.
Right. Right.
I've seen churches and preachers just drift all the way to the left, all the way to the right,
Yeah.
because they got caught up in the hype,
Yeah.
got caught up in the applause, got caught up with, oh, this got 1 million views, so let me just keep. And then you look up one day and they so far away from God, be like, my God, what happened?
Right.
They popular, they famous, it's popping, but they out of alignment.
Because the algorithm isn't in alignment. Right?
Oh God. Oh God. That oh God. That was so powerful. That was so powerful.
Like even the algorithm on these sites and social media, it ain't saved.
Ooh, whoa.
So you out here trying to post stuff that's gonna create an influx with the algorithm to get likes and shares and views. The World Wide Web is not saved.
So they
That's why the
promote,
negative stuff is always popping up more than the positive. Think about it.
especially with the kingdom. I was almost posting that today. It says, I said, Lord, if I say this, they're gonna probably get mad. But the 3 people that contribute to their own demise, to me, are poor people, sometimes colored people, and church people. We contribute to our own demise. And the church people, as you said, the algorithm is not saved.
Mm-mm.
So many church things have been snatched, taken out of context to destroy the church.
Mm-hmm.
And church people go and share it. But then, because the algorithm is not saved, things that we see that may be hype and popular, but it's not in alignment,
Not in alignment.
that gets promoted in a way because, again, it's not in alignment.
Not in alignment.
And if we can get people to go this way and think this way, that's the work of the enemy.
That's what we're doing. Yep.
And the things that are in alignment, oh, that's gonna get 5 likes.
Yeah.
I challenge our leaders, and I challenge those that are watching. You got to spread the positivity.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get in the algorithm, because chances are, if I do, it's probably because of something negative.
Right. I'm trying to reset the algorithm.
I'm trying to reset it. The people in the kingdom have to reset the algorithm. Like y'all, this is deeper than y'all think. We gotta reset the algorithm. You're not gonna tell me and infiltrate my spirit. I need to flip that on his head.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be in alignment. And being in alignment may not be popular with man, but it's pleasing to God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the social media don't have a heaven or hell to put me in. Social media not gonna supply my needs. So I'm not trying to be in that alignment. I'm not trying to align to the area of popularity. I'm trying to align. My work needs to align with God.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have to keep that in mind, because there's people in church and even church leaders that I feel like do stuff to get wrapped up in that algorithm to get the likes and the shares and all those things. But the algorithm is not in alignment, man. That is not what the powers that be behind these sources. They don't want the positive stuff because they know that don't sell.
Right.
So some of the sideways and twisted and weird stuff you see from people, they know that's gonna go viral.
Right.
Right. And it's like, okay, that's what we want. But we can't get into that. We gotta
Right.
stay in alignment with the one who sent us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He said, I gotta work that but then he said he gives his why. I like this. While it is day. I call that the awareness. That thing, because he says not just what to do, but when he's got to do it. He says while it's day. To me, that's awareness, because we have to be aware of our opportunity to work. Right?
Yeah.
You got to be aware. We're in the day. I'm in the daytime of my life, and I got to do this while I can.
Yeah.
You got to work while you can. From a natural perspective, you got to work while you can. You got to make as much money and build as much wealth while you can.
Yeah.
This is the window of opportunity to do it while it's day, while you have the ability. Yeah. And a lot of times we miss that. We wait too late.
Yeah. And we got to remember, to that point, that awareness, a part of that awareness that we must have is the awareness of the fact that we're going to have to give an account. Right? The parable of the talents.
Yeah.
When it's time to see God, you have to answer, what did you do with what I gave you?
Yep. The awareness fades to the accountability.
Yeah.
Because nighttime gonna come.
It's gonna come.
and you got to give an account,
and
brother.
we don't always think that far ahead. Right? So a part of the awareness is not just a short-term awareness. It's a see the end of the picture awareness. How will you be able to answer that? Right? And sometimes we get so short-sighted in life and the thing, we think we got all the time in the world, and we don't have as much time as we think. But we have to be aware that, hey, God put me on this earth for something, to do something. Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing?
He put me on this earth to do something in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And you know what? This just dawned on me. The accountability for me, when I hear that word, it goes from the what to the how. Because when you being held accountable to something, that really dictates how you do it.
Right.
Yeah. I lean on your profession because it's you, right? The cameras that you wear serve, in a lot of cases, for what? Accountability. Because now I realize somebody is going to hold me accountable, so it determines how we do this now.
Yeah.
I got to be aware. I don't just get to do, I know what I need to do, but I don't get to do what I got to do how I want to do it.
Right.
I may want to do this, but somebody's holding me accountable, so it changes my how. It changes our how. And for me, I'm afraid of God.
Right.
So I'm not trying to be reckless. I'm not trying to intentionally harm the people of God and manipulate the people of God and take from the people. Because I got to know at some point I'm going to be held accountable.
Yeah.
For how I handle God's people, how I handle his resources. The steward, you mentioned a talent. That's a sign of stewardship. How did you steward that which God has given you?
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. And I think we focus on earthly accountability.
Yeah.
Too much, and not God being the one that's holding us accountable, that will hold us accountable, right? He's the one who sent us.
Yeah, they just started wearing cameras, but God always had his camera on them.
Right, right. People, you
You
were
could turn off that camera, right? You could turn
right,
it off if you want to.
right, right. It's not about when serving in the kingdom. It's not about what the church people gonna feel about, what the pastor gonna think about, say about. No, you're accountable to God. So if you refuse to serve Him, then okay, that's
At some point, you got to give an account.
you're gonna have to give an account at some point.
What did you do, man? You sat in church, you saw everybody else working and serving, and you went there every Sunday just to sit.
Yeah.
So now when you get sick, you can't pray that Hezekiah prayer.
Right.
When you get in trouble, you can't pray that prayer because you demonstrated you was taking up a seat.
Yeah. You don't have a resume.
You don't have a resume.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a resume. You don't have a record of service.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, I got to do it while it's day because
day.
nighttime is going to come and I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. And, sometimes it's, people that serve and people that, work for the Lord and these things, it gets to the point where you don't even know what you would be if you weren't doing it.
Right.
Because that's how God does it. He it's a part of who you are. It becomes a part of who you are because it's purpose. It's God purpose. So it's gonna interweave into your life and your lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it becomes a lifestyle. And you want to be operating in that purpose to where it's like, man, I don't want to get to the point where I can't do this. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to do, because it just becomes so much a part of, and it doesn't matter how you're serving. It's whatever you're doing for God. He'll make it a part of your lifestyle.
Right.
And he'll make it so that you don't want to do it without it. Right. You don't want to not be able to do what you're called to do. And I think that's what purpose really is.
Absolutely.
Right. Not what, you get paid to do as a profession. Purpose is what you can't do without.
Yeah. They say the one real reason, the one real way to define purpose, or if you're walking into it, even if you were getting paid to do it, would you still do it if you wasn't?
If you weren't. Yeah. Yeah.
So if because some people, they'll say, man, as soon as I win this lotto, I'm gonna quit. I don't want to do it. This is the sole purpose of me doing this is to pay my bills.
Right.
But would you still do it if you could, but didn't need to get paid to do it? Yeah. Would you still do it? And if you could say yes, that's purpose.
Yeah.
Not to say you can't get a paycheck by working in purpose. That's not it. Will you do it if you wasn't?
Right.
That's how you define purpose. So if you ever want to ask yourself, how do I know if I'm walking in purpose? Whether you're getting paid or not, you got to ask yourself that question. Will I do this?
Yeah.
If I wasn't getting paid, or if I didn't need to get paid, would I still do it?
And that's how you know. That really is a good barometer for, knowing the difference between profession and purpose. Right?
Yeah.
And it's important to know that. And because sometimes they intertwine.
Right. They can intertwine.
Not always. Now,
right.
Like for me, there's many of things I've done for free ministry related. Right?
Yeah.
Many of things. But I can tell you what I'm not going to do for free. I'm not putting on no vest and a gun and going to get shot at possibly for free.
Right.
I ain't going to do that.
Right.
That's the difference between profession and purpose.
Right.
I'll preach for free.
Right.
I'll
right.
But yeah, I'm not going to be out there fighting bad guys for free.
Right. Oh,
You know,
baby, and your wife came, baby. You worked so hard these past, 7, 8 years. I can hold it down now. You ain't finna say, you ain't finna go volunteer at
no,
BS at
no, no.
BSO.
And I love it. I love my job. I love
Right.
my profession. I really do. I really do. But not gonna do it for free,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Just
Right.
no. So it's it's important to recognize that and to find your purpose, right? I think a
Right.
lot of people have a hard time with that, finding their purpose
Right.
or allowing your purpose to find you,
I like
right?
that even better.
Because that's been my story, right? I didn't find my purpose in ministry. It found me. You
Right.
know, I just had a conversation with someone Sunday. At preaching engagement I had, and I'm like, man, I didn't my ministry journey is a little bit different than most people,
Right.
right? It found me. I didn't find it,
Right.
nor was I going after it.
Right.
And it's been that way to this day, right?
Right.
Because when you're chasing things, you get caught up, but you gotta find your purpose, allow your purpose to find you, and that's where you get true fulfillment from,
Yeah.
right? That's where you get true fulfillment from, because whatever God made you for is what will bring you the most satisfaction.
Absolutely. and it is what will bring him the most glory.
Hmm.
That's the key, man. We all have to do these things so that God might get the glory.
Hmm.
And Jesus, he says this. It's really a smooth transition because they're talking about this blind man. So that's like darkness. He talks about working while it's day. Then he goes to night, right? It's really cold blooded. But then Jesus in verse number 5 says, I got to work before it gets dark. But as long as I'm here, I'm the light of the world.
Yeah.
Cause remember now, in the context, we talking about a blind man, him working through a blind man, and he's getting ready to basically shine or eliminate this man's darkness. Cause when you're
Right.
blind, it's dark.
Right.
So what Jesus is basically saying is, because I'm in his presence, this man's getting ready to light up.
Yeah.
Which is what I consider to be the effects of the work, right?
Yeah.
Like when you and I do the work of God, the effects of it is that we brighten things up. Things ought to be brighter. Things ought to shine because of our work. That's the effect of it. If we do what we do and it's still dark, if you turn on the light switch and the room is still dark, something is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're supposed to have an effect. Our work is supposed to matter. We're supposed to hear people say, Pastor, I followed the blueprint and this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You said do this. You say sow, or you say save. From a financial, hey Pastor, you taught us XYZ. Here's the results.
Yeah.
That's what doing our work creates.
Yeah, and that's how if you're making an impact, if what you're doing is making an impact.
Yeah.
Right? It's in most situations, if there's some kind of work to be done, there has to be some kind of measurable way to see if it's working.
Right.
To see if what you're doing is having an effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have to, and they're
Measurables. Yeah.
measurables. Yeah, the measurables, and that does great wonders for the person that's doing the work,
Absolutely.
right? When you can actually see, like, okay, what I'm doing is working, because
Right.
that gives you the drive to keep going. That gives you the drive to keep pushing and say, hey, it has not been in vain. Right. And that's why it's important for us to let our light. He talked about heat being the light. Well, okay, now it's time for us, for our light to shine. Right. So whatever
Right.
the work is that God has called us to do in ministry, in the work, whatever it is, that we got to be shining the light as well. Right. There has to be a light shining from us so that we can see a difference in
Right.
whatever the situation is we're responsible for, or whatever, whoever the people are that we are surrounded by and are around us. That there has to be a difference. Like we got to be able to see a difference in, what we're looking at, and who we are having a positive effect on. People
Yeah.
people should be able to be around you, spend some time around you, and be better because of it.
And it's good, and I'm sure I speak for you as well, for the body to encourage the leaders
Hmm.
of that effect.
Yeah.
You know, that's I know it's valuable to me.
Yeah.
I know, because again, preaching and pastoring and leading can be such a lonely feeling. You
Right.
don't know if the people you preaching to listening. You
Right.
don't know if they gonna leave there saying, "Man, that joker ain't said nothing to help me," or
Right.
you don't know. So the
Right.
only way we know if we've had an effect
Yeah.
is when you come and say, "Pastor, you know what? You preached the word last month, and boom, 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 and things got better because of that. I followed it, I listened, and my whole life changed."
Yeah.
That's what a lot. And see, the enemy will play with that because the enemy wants to dim our light.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I promise you, you ever want a preacher or a pastor or a leader to work at their best, you keep reminding him that what you're doing is working.
Yeah.
Woo,
Yeah.
woo. That keeps the light on.
Yeah. Right. Right. And that's needed. I just had a conversation with someone the other day. That's needed at all levels of leadership in any entity, right?
Mhm.
Like the those that are under the leadership, it's important to encourage the leader, right?
Right.
And vice versa, right? If you have
Absolutely.
people under your leadership that are boots on the ground, so to speak, or the leaders over a ministry or a division or whatever, in any, whether it's church or private sector, whatever, the other leaders need to hear from the senior leadership,
Right.
what you're doing is working. The work
Right.
you're doing a great job.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's reciprocal. It's a two-way thing where there is accountability, yes, but there's also that reciprocation of both sides of it encouraging the other, that
Yeah.
what you're doing is working. Because
Yeah.
we all need to hear that sometimes. Like we all need that
Absolutely.
encouragement. We all need to be told, hey, what you're doing is because one of the things about humans, and it's not just church people, it's just really anybody. We don't hesitate to point out negative or something when somebody's doing something bad,
Right.
right? Like don't be the person that if the pastor or the leader do something bad or something you didn't agree with, you they hearing from you, you want to make a comment about it or want to meet about it, but that's the only time they ever hear from you,
Right.
right?
Right.
And vice versa. In leadership,
Right.
I try to do this at work and everywhere that I'm a leader. I try to make sure that people that work under me, they don't only hear from me when it's something bad,
Right.
right?
Right.
Call a meeting to tell them they're doing a good job, not
Right.
just to fuss them out,
Right.
stuff like that.
Right. Right.
Because people show up will call a meeting when something go wrong.
Right. And Jesus gives us that blueprint in the book of Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
He starts every one of those meetings with those churches with something they did good.
Right.
It might be a 2-for-1.
Right.
It was a 2-for-1 meeting with all 7 of those churches. He found something positive
Mm-hmm.
and then shared something negative, right? Or something they need to improve on,
Yeah.
something they need to work on.
Yeah.
And again, the effect of it, man, we have such a great effect. We're supposed to have a great effect. And he says, as long as I'm in the world, I'm going to be the light of the world, because that's my purpose. That's what I want to do. And I want our church to have that effect on people, that people can come dark, depressed, and when they come to Zion, they light up.
Yeah.
They light up, because that's our effect. Position to prosper is not just a slogan, it's an effect. That when I came to Zion, I started prospering in all aspects of my life. That's our effect. That's the effect that we have on people. So I pray that this word does that, but we got to accept the fact that we got to work for God. We got to start off by accepting it. We have to make sure that we understand and stay in alignment with our work. We can't do everything. There's some ministries that are gifted to do more things than others. And guess what? That's okay. That's okay. We got to do what God has called us to do in this season. That's how we stay in alignment. Because the devil, he'll trip you up with giving you too much, right? You're trying to do everything. And that could be the work of the enemy too.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay aligned. I'm going to do this right here. I'm not called. I had to say no to something just yesterday. I'm like, no, at this point, something I had did before, and I thought about it, I said, you know what? That just don't align with what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah.
I got to say no to that. Not that it was bad. It just, I felt like it was going to take me away of something that was a little more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be able to say no sometimes. When it don't align with what, and nothing against you, it just, where I'm going right now, that's going to kind of cause me to drift away from this right here. Is a little more important right now.
Yeah.
Because I want to stay in alignment.
That's important, man, because sometimes opportunities will come.
Yeah.
And you got to know if it's going to be in alignment or not.
Right.
And
it may be good, but it might not be God.
People look at you funny, be like, man, you said no to that. Trust me, it's just happened to me.
Yeah.
You're like, man, why you ain't one in alignment for where I'm at right now?
Right. It might be good, but it wasn't God.
Right.
So alignment. And then the awareness that I only got a particular amount of time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's going to school, whether it's starting that career, whether it's starting that big, you only got a certain opportunity. You got to be aware of that. Don't delay, don't procrastinate. Know that there's going to be accountability, and then make sure that you understand the effect that you're supposed to have. Man, I pray that this word was a blessing. I'm looking forward to Sunday. Man, our kid's going to be on phenomenal. Man of God, he's on deck, man. Excited about that. We got a lot of great things going on in and around Zion. Thank you all for the ministries that have been blessing me so far with just activities. We got some more of those things coming up soon. It's just a good time to be around Zion, man, and we're excited about that. Listen, as we get ready to log off, I want to remind everybody about our fall festival that's going to take place on the 31st of this month. We're asking you to bring Lottie Dottie and everybody. It is free, open to the entire community, entire public. We're partnering with 3 other churches to do this amazing event, and we are excited about that as well. So make sure, if you don't have a flyer, get one this Sunday. Pass it out to everybody. Put it on your social media page. We're going to be posting it every day this for the next week or so. So make sure that you are doing that as well. For the people of Zion, We've been asking our young people, putting together a collage for Sunday. We're asking you if you know someone that is surviving cancer or has passed away from cancer, you want to honor them. Send that picture to Jasmine. Email address is on your screen. If you can't do nothing else, screenshot it. We just need their name, their picture, and what form of cancer they're battling with. Or if it's a memorial, indicate that as well. And we look forward to that presentation on Sunday. Any last words, man of God, as we log off tonight?
No, man, just this was a culmination of just another phenomenal Sunday at Faith Place, the Zion Church. Boots on the ground, man. I was pleased to hear the number of people that signed up to become a part of the boots on the ground, right? To start the work and start do ministry and serve the Lord. So just want to encourage people, man, if you're not serving God in some capacity, find your purpose, your God purpose and what he would have you to do for his kingdom. Not just what you do for the world, for the bosses, what do you do for God's kingdom? Because that's where our true purpose is. So very proud of Zion and the leaders and everyone that put the ministry fair together, man. Just want to give them another shout out. We gave them, we celebrated them in our meeting last night, but want to publicly give them a shout out on an amazing job with the ministry fair. So, and we just getting started.
Just getting started, man. We just starting to scrap on these boots and going to work. And again, man, shout out to our men, Brother Shine, who's watching, man. That guy's a jewel, man. You talking about somebody who put some boots on the ground. Brother Steve, Brother Westman, those guys came in. Brother EJ came and put that tent up Saturday. Came there early at the crack of dawn Sunday morning, putting those tables. Stuff doesn't just happen, right? It's because people make it happen, and everybody is valuable. Even the people that are behind the scenes are typically the most valuable people, and so we always like to honor them. Well, until next week, continue to be blessed. We look forward to seeing you this Sunday at the Faith Place for lunchtime in the Lord. Listen, man, we putting out chairs in lunchtime. We sitting like in the overflow of the Lions Den, man. So even that is growing. So we just excited about all the great things we got going on at Zion Church. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.